Okay, I was sent an engine from West Australia, DRZ 400, and it's getting a wide ratio gearbox and a big bore top end. So it came to us in a crate that we sent over there, a nice sturdy crate that the base of it makes a really good engine stand to start with. And that little kickstart there is going to cause me a problem in a minute. So just pulling it apart. As you pull it apart for something like this, make sure that you measure everything. I'm not showing a lot of the measurements on this because they're boring, but everything is measured. You examine everything as it comes apart. Cam chain tensioner coming out. Take it to top dead center first, and that way you can make sure that everything's going to sit nicely when it comes apart. Different view, same thing. So trying to leave off the kickstart, that didn't work. So moved on, cams out, stator cover off. That bench jumps every time I hit something. So 3-arm puller to remove the kickstart, then clutch out, pulling out the timing gears, pulling out the balance shaft gear, steadying everything, making sure that the head comes off nice and square, nice and clean. You can measure everything up. Get ready to pull the stator off in a minute once the piston's out of the way. That way if it slips, nothing gets damaged. Take the oil pump out. Make sure that they all come out and measure everything up in the oil pump. Pull the rotor off with the right size puller. Make sure that nothing gets damaged. Keep everything where it should be. Tap out the woodruff key. Pull out the starter clutch assembly. Clean everything off. The inside of this engine was really clean. It's been used, but it's been well looked after. Decent oil was in there. Nothing to worry about inside. And when the case is split, all the crank and everything was in perfect condition. Everything was absolutely mint. Looking at all the bits that came out, everything was in pretty good condition, even the original gear set. There's no real wear on them beyond what you'd expect. All the valves are sealing properly. There are no nicks or anything. A little bit of grit on the cam journals is from it being disassembled. When they were wiped down, they were absolutely perfect. Plastiguaged them, they came up within spec. Even the bore was pretty good. If this was going back together again, throw some rings in it, gaskets, and you could rebuild it as it was. But it's getting the ACT, Advanced Clutch Technologies, wide ratio gearbox. The day before Christmas turned out to be engine build day for the shop, or the Thursday did anyway. 5 mechanics in the shop, 4 of them working on engines. There's a KLX 400, which is a DRZ 400 with a different badge on it. A old CB 350 that John's working on. Ricky's working on another DRZ, and there's Luke prepping heads. The original gear set out of the West Australia motor, as you can see, a little bit of marking, which is what you'd expect from an engine of this age, but nothing to worry about. All the new gears go in with molly coat everywhere. Modified the shift forks to clear the oversized gearing, and then press the crank in. Make sure that that's all sitting nicely. Gasket sealant. There's a technique for getting that on with a really thin coat that I'll do a video on one day. Once you've got the cases together and you've got it all bolted up and you're happy with how it all is, then you can pull it out and sit it in the super fancy engine stand. It's not super fancy, but it works really well. It means you can change the angle you're working on, keep it nice and comfortable. Crank, balance gear, idle, timing gear, clutch hub, kickstart assembly, all in, locked down, correct torque, clutch in there. In behind all of that's a timing chain. Can't really see it because it's hidden out of the way. Get the cover on so you can keep it clean. Make sure that there's no dirt or anything getting inside. Keep checking all the time. Make sure that everything is staying clean. Rotor side. So there's the clutch, starter, idle gear. Wrap it up. Get ready to put the piston clip in. And make sure that the open ends of the clip are nowhere near that little recess. It looks really nice and shiny once you've got the new piston and the new barrel on. Get the cylinder head on. line it all up, torque it down to the correct spec, and check that your timing is just right. Make sure the timing is perfect. Do your leak down. The leak down on this one came up 0, 0, so that was really good. Once it's all back together again, you can wrap it up, plug every orifice, and stick it back in the box, ready to go back to Western Australia. And that was it. A bit of video, some photos, we're all done. Thanks for watching. Bye.